you doing there, folks? Al here. Well, I finally bought one. A wonderful Squire Classic Vibe 50's telly. Got it out of the box about a week ago. Haven't put it down since. It came absolutely perfect. It looks great, feels great. Neck joint is absolutely wonderful, and it really is a gem to play. I certainly wouldn't make any adjustments to it at all. But if you're a weekend warrior, you know, and you're playing every Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday afternoon or whatever, and you feel like it does need a little bit of adjustment, well, go ahead and play it. Let's face it, the professional guys are probably going to have a Fender telly anyway, and then probably a couple of other guitars. So today, I'm not going to talk about that because there's plenty of videos out there that actually do talk about swapping out the saddles, putting in some brass ones, changing pickups and the machine heads or tuners, whatever. Machine Head, wasn't that a great album? I mean, yeah, Smoke on the Water was on it, but Pictures of Home, maybe I'm a Leo, Highway Star, wasn't that fantastic? Yeah. But anyway, apart from that, I'm going to take you on just my little journey in how I came to choosing the Telecaster. Now, I haven't played an electric guitar for 45 years, let alone own one. It's, so I figured, well, you know, what do I want to buy? What do I want to spend? So I thought, well, look, I want to spend up to about 1,500 Australian dollars, which is about 900 US, I guess, around that figure somewhere. And then I thought, okay, now what can I get for that? You know, I can get a second-hand telly for that, but that's not how I came to choose the telly. I sort of thought to myself, well, I do love a nice, clean, clear jazz tone. That's how I first started, and I thought, well, you know, what'll give me that? Do I want an arch top? No. I love the arch tops. I love the way that people play the arch tops, and the ones that have got arch tops are generally damn good players, and they are too. Play those wonderful jazz chords, and I've got to learn a few more of those too because they sound fantastic. So arch top, no, not really. 335, ooh, Larry Carlton, Lee Ritenour, Drew Zing, John Harrington. He was with a touring Steely Dan. I think his might have been a 345 actually. That brings me to something. If you haven't seen Lowdown, yes, Boz Scaggs' Lowdown, it's called Lowdown, Dukes of September. It's a really great track. Harrington's got his 345 in there. I mean, you got Boz Scaggs, you got Donald Fagen, Michael McDonald. It opens up with Shannon Forrest on the drums. It's a good look. Check it out. Lowdown, Dukes of September. So anyway, where were we? Yeah, 335, nah, too big. Too big for me. I'm only a short guy, so I thought, nah, won't do that. So I went down to the local music shop and I picked up what's known as, it's an Epiphone 339. If you're not familiar with 339s, they're a smaller version of a 335. In between a Les Paul and a 335. Now they're pretty comfortable to play and they've got a great sound, and it was an Epiphone. I think if I probably was a professional guitarist, I'd certainly be looking at a Gibson 339. They're a bit pricey, they're up above $6,000 I think, but by gee, they're a nice guitar, I must admit. And I nearly brought that Epiphone home with me. I nearly did, but I thought, no, I'll do some more homework. And then, of course, watching YouTube, I mean, that's what got me into buying another electric guitar as well. Sure, I got my acoustics, a couple up there behind me, a nice little Martin LX1 and a lovely Alhambra nylon string. But I'm back on the tube again looking at different guitars, and let's face it, you know, back in the 70s, there was a lot of us out there who want to be rock stars, you know, and well, most of us probably didn't make it, but thinking back then, the three sexiest guitars that were around, of course, was the Les Paul, Stratocaster, and the SG. They were probably the really good-looking ones. Yeah, these things were around, and the 335s and all that, but they seem to be the three main ones. And so I'm just watching the tube, looking around and see what's going on there, and I noticed a couple of guys playing Telecasters and things like that. So I typed in Telecaster, will it jazz? a couple of guys popped up actually. One by the name of Adrian Large, which is L-A-G-E, and another gentleman called Tim Lurch, L-E-R-C-H. So I clicked onto Tim Lurch and I was sitting back watching him, and he was getting these fantastic jazz tones out of a Telecaster. I think he might have swapped one of the pickups in there or something out like that, but the tone he was getting, and he showed me how to get a good tone out of the Tele. But there they were, a couple of jazz players playing Telecasters, so that basically sold me on it. And then of course I started looking at the Affinity, the Squire Classic Vibe, the Mexican Telecasters, the American Telecasters and all that. But it was Tim Lurch, I think, that actually sort of got me going on the Telecaster for a jazz sound as well. You know, they've been around since year dot, haven't they? A lot of guys have used them, of course, Keith Richards and Bruce Springsteen, just to mention too, and a lot of players. I mean, all the guys have got Telecasters as well anyway. But don't get me wrong, I still love the Stratocasters and the Les Pauls. Actually, a couple of my favourite guitars, I think back in the 70s, I saw my first white Les Paul. I thought that was a bit special. Looked at a wine red Les Paul Studio the other day, a TV yellow Les Paul Special. They're all nice looking, they're all great looking guitars. Guitars do look nice, don't they? And we've all got our own choices. Yeah, a lot of people love the Gretsch White Falcons too, and not for me. I mean, I've never played one, so I'm certainly not going to judge it, and I'm sure they're a fantastic guitar, because every guitarist seems to actually want to own one. I think if you stood a White Falcon next to George Benson's Ibanez, I think I'd have to choose the Ibanez. Anyway, that's just my choice anyway. But that's how I came to actually come into the Telecaster. I was looking at the 335, 339 and the arch tops, and I thought, Tele's a rock or country guitar. And so I thought, no, that wouldn't be right, but I certainly had my mind changed when I saw Tim Lurch playing a Telecaster. But anyway, let's have a listen to my wonderful Squire. As I said, it came out of the box just perfect, you know. It is what it is. It's a slab of wood. Nicely crafted and polished slab of wood, I might add, but yeah, it looks really nice. It's got a beautiful neck on it, beautiful feel too. When I was down the shop playing that 339, I picked up a couple of second-hand Tellies. The difference in neck feel, probably, I don't know, between, I suppose, 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s, the necks all felt a bit different. Some blokes don't like these polished backs on here. I'm fine with it. Let's face it, I play at home. I'm not a professional muser. I'm not even a weekend warrior, so I'm happy with this. Not going to put a screwdriver anywhere near this. It's absolutely great. Yeah, you got the saddles there and that type of thing, but can't go wrong with it. Oh, I can't fault this one anyway. This, I don't know, it's just a wonderful guitar. But anyway, let's have another little bit of a listen to it. I've got it on the neck pickup at the moment. That is my favourite place for it to be. So we'll just have a little bit of a play around and just get some nice sounds out of it. feels really good too, just sits really nicely. I'll just put it in the middle position and see what we get there. Just have a little bit of a strum around. That's a great little riff, that actually, folks. If you haven't heard that before, it was done by a band called Cold Chisel, an Australian band back in the 70s. It's called One Long Day. Mossy does it a hell of a lot better than I do, but yeah, check it out if you like. One Long Day, Cold Chisel. If you put in Cold Chisel live, you'll see the first video come up, and it's an older one, but that's one where the guitar's more prominent. He's playing a pink Strat on that one, and that's a really good listen. If you don't type in live, you'll get the album version, and that's just as good too. So that's about it. On the bridge pickup, I don't use that a lot. There you have it, folks. I highly recommend them. They're a really good quality guitar, and for the price, you can't go wrong. I'm happy with it. I'll be hanging on to it for a long, long time, and I just love sitting at home playing it. And whatever you choose, I'm sure you'll love your guitar like everyone else does. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Have a great day. Catch you later.